So, did you have one? Didn't think so.
No, I never had a holographic Charizard. And ladies and gentlemen, we are live with Fully Charged here on Team Fortress TV. We've got a very large guest list today, and most of them are pretty awesome luminaries. The only one I don't know, and I don't even know how to pronounce your name, I forgot to ask, is it Arie or Arie?
Arie.
Arie, okay.
It's Dutch.
Oh, okay. Well, so we've got a bunch of luminaries and a Dutchman. That works for me. But no, but cbear, why don't you give us our guests an introduction, and when we should go over the topic too.
Well, okay, so I guess I'll say, and then you guys can say your little hello. So I'll start with top left, because he's the man who needs no introduction. You may know him as Twitch John. You may know him as John. Probably know him as @John'sFatCock.
On Twitter.
That's right. He's broadcasting live from the Twitch studios, because he's the man, and he's here. What's up, John?
Nada. I'm sitting here in a cubicle in the office, looking for a ape dressed in a tutu walking behind me.
That's a cubicle with a door.
No, it's not. This isn't a cubicle. We don't have cubicles. Our office is open, but this is what's called the VIP meeting room. This is this meeting room is labeled Pac-Man.
Right.
So I locked this off for half hour, 45 minutes, however long this takes. And
I always thought of the Twitch headquarters as like a Mad magazine, like just nonsense going around the hallways. Like there'll be like a midget juggling behind John later on, and
it's very open. Like you have the left side of the office is the engineering team, the right side is like sales and network development, and then like right back here you have like a partnerships team.
In the middle is a big ball pit. Everyone jumps in. It's like a
no, the middle's a hallway that lets you walk back to the PC gaming lounge, the nap room, and the massage room.
That's right. It's a happy ending room. Okay.
And today you got 150 new applications to correspond with 150 viewers right now. Congratulations, Sean.
Yeah, Hookie in chat, by the way, is right. Lang without glasses. Lang's been on the show many times. Pretty much the third host at this point. Broadcasting live from middle nowhere, Wisconsin, where they have no internet.
Yeah.
It's everyone's favorite Lang. What's up?
Hi, I'm apparently everyone's favorite and Lang. It's good to be here, Bear, you know.
My scout partner.
Yeah, that's right.
Me and John are lovers this season.
Twitch, John, and Lang are IM intermediate scout partners. Apparently, they're pretty good. Are you guys doing well? Are you like a competitive IM team, or are you?
We're still meshing as a team, but we definitely have our moments where it's quite impressive. It's really hard, like, to carry Lang like on my back. So
I'm a big dude.
I'm not a big guy, so.
Okay, so that's the North American contingency. Sal, the top row, and Lang, who's sharing the bottom row with Arie, who is originally... I know Arie from I don't know him, but I've seen his name back in the day. Fackle Brigade. I don't even know if that team's still around, but anyone who's followed European TF2 for 4 years, 3... I don't know how long back it goes, but they were a long-standing team. You guys did a lot of casts and stuff in the beginning, so I assume that you guys kind of helped form into Vanilla TV, but it's Arie, who's apparently Dutch. But it's 2 a.m. there, and you're joining us, so hello.
Yeah, it's 2 a.m. and I'm talking about TF2 because
hey, man.
It's a pretty big deal. Yeah. So yeah, Fackle Brigade is kind of dead as a clan at least.
I always see server names that say Fackle Brigade on them, though. Even now,
yeah,
like Mumble servers.
Yep. We run a Mumble server for about 5 years now. That's free for everyone to use. And we do relays for competitive matches, and lately I've been doing a free server reservation system for Clan Wars. So yeah, we're still kind of busy in the scene.
Cool. Okay, and then the last added guest is, I guess, the guy in charge of Vanilla TV. We're going to talk about the I-49, and there's been some drama that's come up, obviously. So we have the packed house to kind of talk about the I-49 LAN, which is coming up, the coverage of it, and some recent events of happening, and I don't know, we'll see where it goes. But it is Byte. You've probably heard of Byte. He streams all the time, and he's one of the big figures in European TF2. So how are you doing, Byte?
Hey, I'm fine, thank you. Obviously, it's 1 a.m. here, but it's all good. I'm looking forward to the show. So hello to you all.
Okay, Sal, that's the introductions.
Okay. Excellent. And you did kind of talk about the topics there a little bit, cbear. The big topic, of course, is who's streaming at I-49. We got confirmation a week or two ago that it is going to be Vanilla TV, that there were competing submissions. By the way, before I forget, I do want to issue a formal apology here on the stream to Arcs and Beta, because last week I said that they were bad casters at Gravel Pit, and they corrected me on the forums, and they were like, no, we like Gravel Pit. It's just that the players were sitting right there, so if somebody went spy or something, we couldn't say it, and that sucked. I was like, oh, right. That's
You didn't call them bad casters. You said that they didn't like Gravel Pit.
yeah, that. Regardless, they like gravel.
I don't
pit,
like
so.
gravel pit either.
Yeah, but you don't cast it; you play it. There's a difference, right?
It's the worst.
That's the difference.
the
The
worst.
casters love it.
It's yeah. I like Gravel Pit. Yeah. Okay. So good guy Sal, always ready with the apology there. So all right. So where do we want to start? This happened a couple weeks ago, I guess. There were the multiplayer organization who runs the I-49. It's not just TF2. It's all sorts of games. I-46 obviously was casted and run by Vanilla TV, and they did a really good job. But since then, TF2 EU or TFTV EU, is that Lange's roommates?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I was trying to get like what?
Lang's noise canceling headphones. He can't even hear it. He doesn't know.
I just block it out now, dude.
He hates them so much. He hates them so much.
I think we should probably start from the beginning here, though, right? So
Yeah, go ahead. I don't know where to start.
I guess my impression of how this all went down is that Skyride and Comedian really wanted to set up TFTV as the official casting group for I-49. And I think a lot of us at TFTV, and I am including myself in that, supported that. We were like, hey, yeah, that sounds like a cool idea. And you guys, as I recall from being at I-46, Skyride and Comedian ran the show there. They did all the stuff. So I was like, okay, well, I guess whatever y'all are going to do, go make your proposal. And so they went and spent a whole bunch of time, like a month or so, putting a lot of research and effort into making a proposal, which they sent to Multiplay. Right.
Yeah.
Yep. And Multiplay said, okay, well, we're going to do the fair thing now, and we're going to say, hey, Vanilla, you guys in the past have run the show, so please submit us a proposal because your basically competing organization has done that now. So then Vanilla TV had the time to put together a proposal of their own, and Multiplay went with Vanilla TV, and that is essentially the surface of what happened. Arcs made a thread recently that basically didn't come off well in the TFTV community, although he had a point. And that point is that really, I don't think there was a lot of communication between TFTV and Vanilla TV before any of this went down. And there could have been. So I want to get that on the record right now, that people probably should have talked to each other before this whole thing blew up. But we should go down the list here at least and get initial opinions and reactions on kind of like how that all went down and what your thoughts are on it.
Well, why don't we start with the Euros, because they're right there. So you guys are both heavily involved with Vanilla TV. Byte, can you help explain to our viewers what the deal is with Arcs' thread, like where the anger is, I guess, from Vanilla TV? Maybe you don't have it. Maybe it was just Arcs himself being angry. But could you help explain? Because I was very confused as to the whole point of it. It seemed very counterproductive to me.
Yeah, I'm guessing he himself personally wanted to vent his frustration because obviously, as much as there was competition, the end product is that we want the community to be the strongest possible, right? That was the end result. But because we had to do a proposal against our competitor, being TF.TV, and then people saying, well, why aren't they using this guy from TF.TV, and why can't he be part of Vanilla TV and help us out? He felt like it was, sort of like a slap across the face because we're having to compete against each other, yet bring in other people from outside of Vanilla TV. So he wanted to obviously express himself through his post, basically.
But I don't want to interrupt you because obviously...
No, that's fine. That was it, yeah.
Well, my question would be then if the post, or if you're upset about not doing what's best, or like working together for the betterment of the game, doesn't that post then, and certainly the reaction, it was just nasty vitriol spewed from both sides, isn't that also counterproductive to whatever unity or synergy could possibly happen between the two sides?
Oh, absolutely. I can't disagree with what you just said. Hence, have you seen a post by myself?
No,
Yeah. So obviously, I can't control people what they want to post, regardless of if they're with Vanilla TV or not. I can ask them, but at the end of the day, they have freedom to do what they want. I don't control them. He asked me for his opinion. If he said if this looks okay, I said to him, look, it's your opinion. It's not a problem from my perspective, but this is obviously coming from you. So which it was. I believe he stated that. So I'm not there to control anyone or take charge of what they post.
Okay, so how about from more of a overall vanilla TF2 perspective, heading into I-49, is there any in-routes between the two organizations? I know Lange is still planning on going. Maybe, Lange, you can jump in now. And you're still planning on going and being a part of the planning and the production there at I-49, right?
Correct. I am shortly after, it was announced that Vanilla TV had the contract from Multiplay. I reached out and contacted Trell, or Trell actually reached out and contacted me, and talked with Byte, and we quickly came to the agreement that there would still be a place for me to help there, that my help would still be needed, and very quickly it was agreed upon that I would still be going.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it seemed to me, reading the ARC post, that there was a certain amount of anger, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, from Vanilla TV about the fact that TFTV put in a bid at all. Like, that was... just by reading it, and it was edited away, so I can't refer to it now in retrospect. But was there anger from you guys that there was even an attempt to put in a separate bid? Because that seemed to be a part of it.
Yeah, no, obviously it was. It would have been better, like Sal said right at the start, that people would just speak together and discuss it like, I don't know, sort of like men, as opposed to trying to compete towards each other, which didn't help anyone. And I think that probably angered most of my staff even more, because it's not just ARCs, believe it or not. It's obviously other people who just haven't posted. But the thing that angered most of the people is the fact that the proposal, when they saw it, which was done by Skyride and Comedian, wasn't a proposal of what they can offer and what they can do for the community. It was more against what they're against, i.e. Vanilla TV, which is not the correct thing.
Well, and I'll say, from my perspective, and I saw the proposal they were putting together before they sent it. I said, look, if this is the tact you're taking, then you do need to tell Multiplay, here's why we're better than VTV. Otherwise, they don't really have the right data on hand. So that's kind of where all that came from, was if you're going to submit a competitive proposal, you need to clearly differentiate you from them, right? So
yeah,
that's why they did it. And yeah, it looks combative and competitive because that was how it was designed. It was a combative, competitive document.
Were there any... Sorry, Sal. Were there any efforts from Vanilla TV to be the first to reach out to TFTV weeks ago and before all this happened to say, well, did you message maybe Skyride or Comedian and try to... Was there any conversation between TFTV EU and Vanilla TV about working together for it, or was it just both sides wanted to go about it their own way, or no?
I think when the proposal...
Sorry.
When we learned about a proposal by TFTV, there was zero effort made, basically. People just being angry. I tried to put in an idea to do a joint proposal, but basically there's 4 people in the EU scene that hate each other so much that there's no chance of cooperating. And that's when I decided not to get involved with the proposal at all. And basically ARCs wrote it and made a really good proposal, and we got it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I want to bring in John for a second here. And John, I don't know how much of this you knew about before the thread exploded, although you saw it and you posted in it, hey guys, this is stupid.
I saw the proposal probably before anybody did.
Okay. All right.
I think. While there's a lot of accurate data in regards to like web traffic and stuff like that, the difference between the two of them is that Vanilla TF2 is not designed as a web hub for competitive Team Fortress 2. So their web traffic is going to be far less significant than TFTV's is. Even, the European players, they don't go to Vanilla TF2 to go read TF2 forums. They go to Team Fortress TV.
Or
so
ETX as well, yeah.
Yeah. So those stats, while they are accurate and while they do make it look like Team Fortress TV has a larger place in the community, they don't necessarily show anything because the sites are 2 separate entities.
I have a different question for you too, though, and that is, we get people every so often. I want to put this to rest right now. We get people saying, "Well, see, now here's the reason why Team Fortress 2 isn't a big competitive esport. It's because people are childish."
No,
I know. I just slapped myself on the forehead. Like, you think StarCraft 2 players aren't childish? You think this kind of drama doesn't happen in other scenes? I mean, come on.
Counter-Strike 1.6 for 10 years? No, they were...
In every single game, in every single community, there are multiple organizations that are consistently battling for content. That's why I have a problem with ARC's reaction to this proposal, and why why VTV kind of feels like they were stabbed in the back, basically. You're two separate organizations. It's clear that you guys are competing. I mean, VTV lost some of its guys to Team Fortress TV because they don't like somebody or whatever the situation is. So you clearly have segregation there. And you guys know that you're not going to work with each other. It's just not something that can happen. The competition's going to be there, and competition drives innovation. It's necessary to increase the production quality, to increase the effort that people are putting into the content. Competition is the best thing for this game, but the competition needs to be something that everybody understands and doesn't make a public stink about.
Yeah.
Like that thread should never have existed, because this, as much as it hurts one side or the other, it's going to help in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, and ultimately, like I said in the thread, right, I agree with you 100% that competition is good, but airing your dirty laundry in public is bad. And so the issue is that it's a learning experience for both groups. Hopefully, the top management and Byte, I don't know, but you're going to have to comment on this too. But I've been telling Enigma, hey, so, and I'm sure he realizes we need to take a harder look at PR in the future and prevent crap like this from blowing up in the public sphere again. And Byte, what do you think about that statement?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, like John said as well, that all of this stuff that we're having with, especially those posts in the past few days or few weeks, hasn't really helped either side, or it's at least hindered one side, if not both. So, and I'm very up for talking to Enigma or anyone level-headed, to be quite frank, from TF.tv. So there's no problem there. And you know, I don't know why people have this weird theory of us hating TF.tv. We think it's a great web hub, as John has mentioned once again. It is a web hub. When people come and want to see the forums, they don't come to Vanilla TV or VanillaTF2.org because it's not that type of site. So, you know, obviously TF.tv offer a lot of services that we don't in that respect. And we're very supportive of that. I'm very supportive of that. But obviously it has to be dealt and managed by the right people. And, well, obviously, some things haven't been, and some things are at the moment, so...
The site is managed brilliantly. It's a brilliant
Yeah, obviously,
sure.
But who's it managed by? Enigma, right? Or Enigma plus Co, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay, so Enigma, I've got, again, Enigma, I don't know him personally, but I've known him for a long while, and he's quite a level-headed person, so obviously I have no problems with talking to someone such as Enigma.
Right. Well, okay. So I'm trying to think of. People are messaging me, telling me what to ask and stuff, and it's
a lot of it's going to be inflammatory, right?
It's like, yeah, it's like, you know, from people who have very, you know,
strong
established
opinions.
opinions.
How big is Lange's penis?
How big is Lange? We know how big John's is. Okay, it's a Twitter handle. Okay, so moving forward as we approach I-49, where's the stance from Vanilla now? Because I mean, Sal's going. I might go if Sal and I show up and we're there at event. Is there going to be a no? We're not going to have a chance to cast because we're from TFTV, even though neither of us really have anything to say at all about it. Or is there going to be more? Is there a chance to kind of work together? I guess. I guess I'm asking Byte this.
Yeah, of course. I said it in that rubbish thread. Unfortunately, I said it in there that obviously with Lange, to make this a great success at I-49, we'll need other people from the other orgs, so to speak. So obviously TF.tv, and Lange being one of the favourites, so to speak, from your side, from TF.tv, and after Acid Renix and others accepting that we would bring in others to help Vanilla TV at LAN, then we haven't got a problem there. So obviously we're still yet to discuss with Lange what sort of things we're going to do and produce, but yeah, no, Lange's on the cards, and obviously we'll be looking to do special casts, which a lot of the American scene and probably some of the EU scene will be looking to see. So for example, Sal, if you are coming along with Lange, then I'm pretty sure people would love to see a Sal and Lange cast, or many casts, so to speak,
or Sal and cbear.
Or Sal and cbear, if cbear's coming. But you know what I mean, though, right? Because it's a good show for the community. People want to see that, and that's something that I support fully. So I don't care if you're not part of Vanilla TV. It's just good to have you on there in the fact that it supports what the community want. So, then so be it. That's what will happen at LAN.
But in the ARCs thread, and it's just the sentiment that Trell also posted some, and he's said some other things. I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth or anything, but it seems like there isn't a sentiment now between the two sides. I mean, we had you on what, 2 months ago or whatever, when we first started the TF2 EU, and we started talking about how to work together and how to make this not sort of an us versus them type of deal. But it still seems like there is quite a bit of that, and even some resentment from some of your higher up members of Vanilla TV. Are you saying that moving forward that there isn't resentment between the two sides?
I would love to say that there isn't. For me, myself, obviously I have my own personal opinion, but I don't make it public, and I don't express it through my org at all. I'm sure that's quite visible in any posts I've done, which is basically none. Right. Obviously, some of my staff probably feel quite passionate and feel that the amount of stuff being said, whether it's true or not, is sort of they're riding over me like a doormat, so to speak, and they're just trying to defend Vanilla TV. So there is still some resentment, I'm going to guess, and some pettiness between members from our end and a couple of from the other end. So I would love to say that they should just kiss and make up, so to speak, but I don't think that's going to happen. So yeah, that's where it stands, unfortunately, between them and them.
I guess because I have no beef, and I don't think, Sal, you have really any beef with anybody. I mean, we don't work with really any of the European TF2, so I think a lot of it is the TF2 EU versus Vanilla TV EU, trying to make sense of where the animosity really comes from. And that's kind of the thought I got reading that whole thread and everything. It's like, why are there such strong feelings on either side? What was done? Was it just the proposal itself that was sent in that caused the anger? Because to get mad over... Sorry, let me finish. To get mad over something that like, they didn't ask for our involvement, but you didn't ask for their involvement, and that's sort of this guilty of the same thing. And then to get really mad over it seems, I don't know. I thought it's excessive.
Yeah, it's not just on the proposal, believe it or not. It's based on obviously without name picking and dropping and stuff like this, because this is not what this show is about, obviously. But to give you a TLDR brief explanation of what it is, it's just basically to do with lies and gossip and rumors, which isn't true, of what had happened in previous LAN, or why some people left and so on, stuff like that makes them really angry, because it's obviously not the truth from what they see from our end, but people will believe it. And obviously it's a famous term here in our community, but they'll circle jerk around it and believe it, unfortunately. But we haven't, whenever someone has said something against us, we don't think it's worth defending ourselves, because there's just no point, personally.
What was said against you?
What, against me or the? Or...
Yeah. Well, what? Yeah. I mean, what? I mean, specifically, I guess from TFTV. What has been said? I'm just wondering. I'm not defending, because I don't know. I haven't said anything. Maybe.
I don't think it's a TF.TV in general as an org. I don't think it's that, because I don't think they're like that. I think it's just specific people who have been feeding lies or spreading rumors, which we don't appreciate, but we just I try to ignore, obviously, and Arie tries to ignore as well. We've done no posts, we've tried not to sort of retort back, because it's just not worth it. We just keep on going by our own business. Yeah, go for it, Arie.
Name dropping, you might not want to do it, but it's basically Byte, Skyride, Comedian, and Trell who hate each other's guts. They've put up with each other for a long time in Vanilla TV, had fights about all kinds of stupid shit that doesn't really matter, and then it finally exploded, and Comedian and Skyride went on to do their own thing, but they're still mad at each other and try to annoy each other, and it's really depressing.
Toxic?
Do you think that rivalry between the four is perpetuating the infighting between the two organizations? Like, is that the basis between it? Like a Vanilla versus TFTV, is that sort of boiled down to four people that don't like each other?
That's really the basis of the whole conflict, and other people got dragged into it, because like Acid Renix, he's been part of VTV for ages, and he does a great cause with Beta, and he got dragged into this and picked a side and made that stupid post, just making things so much worse.
Look, we've all made stupid
things
posts.
Like, I mean, yeah, but what I really didn't like about Acid Renix's position is he said, "I will not work with anyone on the proposal of TFTV," without even knowing if those people knew they were on it or knew what the proposal meant, like for
Yeah.
us.
Lang, did you know you were on that proposal?
I did. I was part of that proposal from the very start. I was talking with Scarred and Comedian right from the beginning. To be honest, the way it was presented to me was that Skyride said he had spoken with Multiplay, and I was kind of under the impression that it was just sort of in the bag for us, and that it was going to be something that we were going to be responsible for. I mean, that's why I made that video saying like, "Hey, if the fundraiser gets fulfilled, then I will go," because I just like thought it was a fact that we were going to go. I was not really aware of this feud between Skyride Comedian and Byte and Trell, which is, I mean, and it's a shame that whole feud exists because, I mean, Byte and Trell obviously have been. I don't exactly know if Trell is directly involved in Vanilla TV, but I know Byte, like, Vanilla TV has been around for a while. They've done a lot of things. They've done a lot of lands. Clearly, they're doing something right. And Skyride and Comedian, I've worked more closely with them, especially Skyride. They're brilliant. They solve just fantastic technical problems, and they dwarf my own technical capabilities. I've learned so many things from both of them, and it's just a shame that we have all this talent that we can't use effectively because they're too busy fighting amongst themselves.
So let's, I guess, speaking of technical talent, technical abilities, I got a question for John, and that is, what is kind of the best practice right now in TF2 streaming? And what do you want to see at I-49 that would just knock people's socks off in terms of, like, a good stream?
What is the biggest thing? You guys don't run goddamn advertisements, so you're not making any money. You should probably get on that first and foremost. First and foremost, please make money. You make money, we make money. It works out well. But
with that, folks, we're going to a commercial.
We'll see you later.
We'll be back in 78 minutes. I mean, TF2 is a game that a lot of, like, the individual broadcasters don't necessarily understand, like, from a viewing standpoint. I think they're all under the impression that this stream needs to be this 1080p, 60 FPS. You need all of this bandwidth, a super machine. But Team Fortress 2 is best viewed, like, just 600p, 45 FPS. Make sure everything's smooth. The biggest issue I see with a lot of the higher production stuff, TFTVs, Vanilla TVs, they try to push the limits so much, and it gets clunky, and it's ugly. I don't want to see that clunky stream shit. It looks bad. It just looks like the production is bad.
And we have the worst luck ever as far as
that too.
Every cast has some lag or some BS.
Relying on source TVs is the worst shit.
Or ESEA.
And it's not a problem with Counter-Strike. It's never a problem with Counter-Strike STVs. But Team Fortress, the STVs are just a problem. And if that's somebody's first impression of Team Fortress 2, they're not watching it again. And we've had so many instances, like, whenever there's a big game going on, an invite or something, and it's on the front page, I have to, like, frantically get that shit off because it's terrible.
Because the source TV is really laggy. It's not.
I'm like sitting in the living room watching on my iPad or something, and it's like, gotta go, get up and run, and get you guys off because it just looks bad, and I don't want that to be like anybody's impression of the game because the game's not bad. And
is that something that happens in ACAST? Because I'm not aware
it
of
doesn't. It's I think it's an ESEA STV thing.
Okay.
We're like kind of snake bitten. Plus, I mean, we had this weird lag thing for like 3 weeks too, and then we'll get the source TV that ends before the game finishes. That's common, and I don't know, just issues. People getting lost.
When I first met you guys, Byte, whenever you guys moved over from Own 3D, I mean, there were some STV issues early on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A lot of production issues with you guys, like, early on, but since then I feel like they've mostly been resolved. I'm not sure if those issues were a result of shitty STVs, shitty servers, or just getting used to how Twitch works in comparison.
I think getting used to was the main thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we still get the odd, like, we have people in, like, Latvia or Russia streaming, and they're getting, like, good upload speed, but everyone's lagging anyway. So yeah, we have to work out some things, find out the right service for Twitch to use, and we're getting there.
The biggest thing I want to see with TF2 is people not pushing the limits so much that it causes the production to look bad. Like know your restrictions, know your limits, and shoot under those. So nothing shitty can happen.
Well, okay.
I don't want frames dropping. I don't want frame rates dropping. Keep it silky smooth like Lange's beautiful beard right now, and just make sure everything's great.
Smooth as the fuzz on a peach.
I get as depressed whenever something goes wrong as you guys do, because TF2's my baby. Like, I'm privileged enough to be able to, my boss is very supportive of me having a passion project. They know TF2 is my passion project, and they know I want it to grow. And anytime something bad happens, I get really, really, really sad.
Okay, so let me ask you, because we're still on this topic. I want to get back maybe 1.5 more things that we were talking about before. But Sal talked about, like, I don't know, one of the many episodes, 30 episodes, one of the previous ones.
And then there are people
crazy, right?
there are people who've probably watched every single one.
I know.
Do you not regret that yet?
Yes.
Okay.
I do, and I'm on it. No one has won 2 hats yet, though. Which job?
I want an unusual get destroyed.
That was ridiculous.
Do you wear that during the games you play, John?
Zalfie is wearing it because he's our demo this season, but he gives it back this season.
Watch out. You might sell it. Okay. What was the question? Oh, Sal said that he posed some non-TF2 playing, watching, complete, new to the game friends, I guess. I don't remember. But and they watched a few of the casts, and they said that it wasn't. They had trouble following the action.
Yes.
Like a game like StarCraft or even a MOBA title like League of Legends or Dota, it's easier to tell because it's, 2 sides going at each other, the cameras, bird's eye view, you can see all of it, and it's pretty easily explained. But Team Fortress 2 is a lot of...
Here's the question for that. Are these guys gamers at all? Have they ever played Team Fortress 2?
Yes to one, no to the other.
See, the goal with Team Fortress 2 in its current state is not bringing people that have never played TF2 in.
It's still
making these. Yes,
yeah.
we have 55 to 75,000 DAUs, like daily active users. Like, those are the ones that we need to get consuming this content before you can show other people. Be like, look at the percentage of the people that play this game that watch this. Like, this is awesome. This is interesting to you. You should try this game. They're going to try the game. They're going to be like, oh, well, this shit's fucking awesome. Let's go see who's playing this live.
Okay, so how do we do that? Like, we've tried reaching towards more of the Reddit TF2, which has a big following, but really, we've tried. I'm in casting for 3 years, and these guys have been involved in production of TF2 forever, and it just seems like, other than when you involve the community aspect, we get viewers to come in reliably. How would you do it if you were like in charge, King John of TF2? How would you start to try to bring these people in?
I mean, you guys are doing everything right. You don't necessarily see it because the concurrent viewership doesn't go up, and there's statistics that I can't give you because they're strictly internal. But Team Fortress 2 has grown up a shitload, like a metric fuck ton. The game has grown, and one of the things that's awesome about TF2 is that most games people will just come in, watch, for 10 minutes and leave. TF2 is not like that. People sit here and they're engaged with the content that you guys are making for an extended period of time. And that is probably the most appealing thing to potential sponsors, things like that. People love to know that the users are engaged. It doesn't necessarily matter if you get 1 billion users, because something can be embedded in a website that's very popular and it can be 3 pixels tall. Nobody sees it, but the unique numbers through the roof. But
Right.
The engagement and the amount of time that these people spend consuming the content on a regular basis is far more important. And TF2 is succeeding greatly when it comes to that.
It's the cbear racism hook.
I know, just keep it up, man. Keep it up.
Doing well there. No, so, I mean, I get that, and I think that we've seen just the average viewership, at least for the North American cast, increase last season. I mean, I think pretty much every cast we did reached into the 4 digits, and some even without the front page help.
Yeah.
Which is great.
That's me testing it. I want you guys to understand that that's not necessarily a good thing. It's good for an initial boost. The ultimate goal is for that to never have to happen. For these users to follow this channel, and the instant they see it live, they're like, "This is what I'm gonna go watch." That's the ultimate goal, and it's at that point now. The Eurocasts don't do as well because they're at a bad time. They're just it's just not the best time of day for traffic.
Yeah.
You're looking at dinner time in Europe, roughly, and you're looking at people being
Middle
in
of the
school
day,
or in class or at work in North America. It's just bad time. So those stats don't really, like, prime time is what you guys should be looking at, and prime time stats, at least for over the last 6 to 8 months, have been well into the thousands every time.
So, John, I got one more thing here. At work, I'm on Internet Explorer 7 on a work machine, and I can't watch Twitch TV. Can you fix that for me?
No.
Get a better internet.
I'm going to go into the admin panel and look for your username and ban you.
See you, Sal.
Dang it.
And that'll do it for Fully Charged. No, Lange, you've been quiet and very stoic as usual, sitting there with your beautiful headphones. Do you have an opinion? I know you've been pretty much the head of production here for in last year or so for TFTV. Is there any tactics that you would like to see employed? Try to kind of harvest more of these pub level viewers or people that have no idea what CompTF2 is that play the game already?
I don't really know that much about like the community management and sort of marketing side of it. But on the production side, there are things that we want to do. Like, we're very ambitious in some ways. Our eyes are bigger than our stomachs. But like, I've been talking with Skyride recently, and there's just there's things that we're working on, and we always just want to improve our production, make it as good as possible, and just as consistent and smooth as possible. And I've been talking with Enigma, and like I'm gonna personally try to work on making like consistent guidelines for all of our cameramen and commentators, so that because right now it's kind of like depending on what cameraman is doing a show, you get a very different version of a Team Fortress TV show. What
happened this weekend will never happen again. I mean, I think the show, we still raised money. I'm talking about the show match that we did on Sunday. It was I mean, it wasn't bad because it was fun, I think, still, and we got money, and I think the people watched it. We had pretty good numbers, too. But technically speaking, like, I was trying to figure out how to even get the games on, like, the servers weren't configured. I think trying to avoid, like, what we talked about, the snake-bitten TF2 thing, where it's like, we keep shooting ourselves in the foot because, like, we'll have a big match, but then the Source TV won't work, or our cameraman is laggy, or something is happening. So we need some consistency, like, I think Vanilla has achieved over the last couple of years. So, you watch their stream and you see it, and it's not full of issues. Something doesn't come up that blows up, So I think that's good to have those guidelines because, it looks pretty unprofessional sometimes. And I know because I'm.
Wait, John, is the Gorilla Man still in your office? And is he? I've missed this, but apparently the stream is seeing the.
No,
Gorilla
he's
Man.
not. He's not walking behind. They're just.
Okay.
He's gonna pop up.
They're just making things up.
Okay. To kind of talk about the TV consistency again, though, I mean, like John's saying, we're capable of delivering a very good product. It's not like we need to sit here and try to figure out, gosh, how do we make TF2 interesting to watch? It does that very well on its own. It's just we need to have some kind of consistency, know our limits, know our boundaries, and just work on delivering the best show we can every time. Because right now
that show you can reliably.
Yeah, exactly. Every time. We're not that consistent right now, and it does affect our viewers negatively.
Yeah. So okay, well, we'll get better. And we're gonna are we still gonna try to incorporate that war room thing? Because that's awesome.
Yeah, that's something we can do. I just need to get my hands on a Windows server because the program that does that is a Mumble relay program, and I've tried it in the past running on a Linux server, and apparently the Linux build of it is just wildly unstable. So that's why.
Oh, is that so you can listen into their
right?
comms? Okay.
So
yeah. We have that working at the EU side. Skyward and me worked on getting the relays up and getting teams on board with it. And tonight we had both TFTV and VTV using the team comms. We listened to Cracklang doing singing comms and failing at it. But it was nice.
All right, really quick, just to make this call really nerdy, you have to run the Windows binaries of that, right?
No, I run FryMaster's EveBot to delay mumble comms.
Yeah. But I'm saying, do you run it on a Windows server or a Linux server?
Linux.
It always
Let's
crashes
talk later.
on Linux.
Yeah,
you have to talk to me. You got me on Steam. Hit me up.
I know some of these words, so that's good. Linux, I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, Windows.
And then things happen.
Relay, there's the 100 meter, the 400 meter, and the 1600, correct?
That's right.
They hand off the baton. So.
And you score a touchdown. Okay.
Birdie putt for Eagle.
But yeah, but like those mumble comms and stuff, I think like technically there's a lot of improvements in TF2 casts, like getting the mumble comms back and having better score overlays. And at VTV we have the live damage stuff. I think there's a lot of cool things being added to the cast.
Yeah. Yeah, lame effects, I got it. I don't know. I mean, anyway. Okay, so one more thing that I wanted to say from way before to kind of call back. I think that was productive talk there. The chat was blowing up, and I've heard it from some of the people that I talked to on Steam that one of the vanilla, the Pledge, is now casting for TFTV EU. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
So how did that
Sad.
come up? Do you guys know how that came about, or is it just he just was
Pledge
like, all right.
is good friends with Comedian, and Comedian left for TFTV. And TFTV, I think they offered him a better deal for land funding. So that's one of the reasons too. And he feels like he's better off at TFTV as a growing org and higher viewer numbers, I guess. So yeah, we had a great cast this night with him.
Mhm.
It was awesome, and I was kind of disappointed that he didn't change his mind right there. But yeah.
Yeah, I seem to. He cast quite a bit for Vanilla, so that's got to be something that I mean, it's gonna be hard to replace.
He was our carrying caster for season 14. He already did a few casts this season as well. So yeah, that's well, we're bringing in some fresh blood, and
I think
we're
my
looking
only
forward.
cast at I-46 was with Pledge. It's pretty
Did you
cool.
only cast one thing? So I thought I saw you.
Yeah.
Maybe it was X-Time that I saw.
X-Sign casted 1 or 2.
Next time I ate a delicious hot dog. Looked fantastic.
Oh, that's right.
That-
Yeah,
That's
there's
probably the best thing that's ever happened in TF2.
an
That
animated GIF of that. Yeah.
That is awesome. Did he know what he was doing?
Oh yeah, no, because they had a screen facing the audience that would show what they were showing on the stream at the time. So he just
Okay.
walked up and he was like, "Oh, the webcam's on me. Nice."
Is he looked oblivious? Like, I'm just gonna eat this hot dog now and
He was
stare.
staring straight at the
right
webcam.
into the camera.
I get it, but just the look on his face, I don't know. It was awesome. It was awesome. Okay. Well, we are approaching time where I need to give out hats. Is there anything else we want to talk about as far as this goes? I think we reached a point where we started really getting into the root of the problem. I mean, not the problem, but the what's going on between the two organizations. So is there, I guess, going forward, some kind of course of action? Because I-49, not only for the Vanilla who got the bid to put up the show, but it's important to TF2 in general. I-46 was probably the best thing that's ever been done for TF2, aside from maybe the CGS way back in the day.
And when you include the Aussies, I-49.
Correct. I mean, it
better.
could be billed as like a legit world championship. So, I mean, is there something going forward? Can people put their issues aside and try to work together, or is it at this point irreparable?
I
guess-
really hope that Arx changes his mind, because I think he's the only holdout right now that says, well, I don't want to work with the TFTV people, because I really want to see like joint casts at I-49, and especially if you have like a EU North American final.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
it would
putting
be
it out there.
stupid to have like a purely EU casters.
If we do any of the EU versus US games, I'll cast with Beta. I'll replace Arcs. That's how we'll do.
Shit. Okay, well, I don't understand what. I mean, we don't have him on here, so I don't want to ask you guys to speak for him. I think he's in chat. Unless both him and Beta are typing on the same.
They have a joint account and everything. It's just
Yeah.
like
It's really cute.
Forever
Those
RT.
guys are, yeah. I guess I don't understand why he's so vehemently against casting with us or working with us. Like, what do you guys, either of you, Arie or Byte, feel the same way? Like, you will not work with TFTV just in principle?
I see
No.
Arx correcting me in chat, like changing his mind already.
I can see that. I'm trying to keep
He
up
did.
with
So
Tip-
that's good.
To be fair, he's not changing his mind now. After he put his rant on the thread, he said he would cast or work with anyone from another org after he put that post up. That was what he said specifically. And as for myself and Arie, I can pretty sure safely say that we have no problem working with anyone from another org. So
Okay. So
Sorry, I tried to say something and I was muted because our roomies were yelling. But yeah, like, I don't think Byte has a problem with it, because it took like 45 minutes of discussion between him and Trell, and they're like, "Well, yeah, just get Lange to come over. It's fine." Like I don't think they have a problem.
This is the thing. People think it's obviously not the case, but that's because, like I said, things have been said which. And the best thing, obviously, to do that is bring people from other orgs. Obviously, Lange yourself, very talented and quite a favourable person and likable person in the community, and people want you there. So obviously, with Sal there or cbear there, it's gonna look good, won't it? And be able to support what the community want, which is probably a cbear and Salcast or Sal and Langcast or whatever. So yeah, no, like I said.
No, sorry. Keep going. Finish.
No, I was just said, like I said, we're all for making it the best LAN ever, and if it means that other people from other orgs come in, then fine with me. To be honest, that's better for me and for the org community, obviously.
I think it is too. I think it'll be an awesome time. I hope that we have several beers while we're there, Byte, because I-49 is going to be awesome.
Byte won't have any beers.
Byte, you're gonna have what are you gonna have?
An
Manhattan,
orange juice.
An orange juice. Some Zima.
Arie will tell you why.
No, don't worry about it. But anyway, actually, speaking of that, I know a guy who destroyed his kidneys recently and can't drink for 3 months because he's an idiot. But we're not gonna go into that part. We are gonna do.
Too many Vicodins, Sal?
No, it's just antibiotics and alcohol in the same night, which is really stupid. So he deserves it. Anyway. I forget exactly what I was going to say, but we do need to give away some hats now, cbear, and it's about that time. So I want to thank our guests and give them a chance for shout-outs before we go, starting with Mr. John.
Shout out to Jimmy's biceps. They're wonderful.
Fat
glorious.
biceps?
Jimmy? No, Jimmy's biceps are lean. Crisp.
So he couldn't make a Twitter account called @John'sFat or Jimmy's Fat Biceps. He couldn't.
No, Jimmy's extremely supple biceps. Shout out to my scout partner down there in the bottom left, Mr. Van Kemp. It's going to be fun to backpack you through the season because I'm the best.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. Shout out to TF2. You guys are pretty awesome 99% of the time. Every once in a while you piss me off and make me feel like a jerk off. But overall, very positive experience, a very positive community, and it's nice to kind of be a part of that. Compared to everybody else, you guys are really nice people.
Such a nice guy. All right, Lang. To your roommates, of course.
Shout out to my roommates. 2 more weeks about, and then I get new ones. So that'll
They
be
have really
good.
high game battles ranks in Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Oh, so this
Yeah.
What's that one kid's nickname that you told me? I was like,
Is
big
it
Fucking hear me,
YOLO
man.
Swag 420?
Right.
Is it
Well-
close to that?
I'll tell you the stories in like a month. It'll be
You'll wait.
great.
He's like listening through the door. It's like, yeah. Okay. All right,
Yeah,
sorry. Continue your
Just,
shout
I don't know. Just shout out to Sean Bud Whisker Biscuit. It was his birthday recently,
Is
Right.
and the rest of the Bud crew. Love hanging out with those guys.
Buds.
Arie.
Okay. Arie.
Shoutouts to Legend Scully and Warden, who had a perfect stream tonight. And if you haven't seen it, go check it out on the Twitch VOD. That's it.
Okay, Mr. Byte.
Just shout out to the community and obviously the staff at Vanilla TV, and obviously you guys doing a good job promoting TF2, and obviously a big thanks to John, to be honest, at Twitch for all the help we get off him and support.
Okay, I'm told it's Pledge's birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Pledge, from all of us at Team Fortress TV, your new home, I guess.
I like
you
that.
happy? Okay, that's it. We
should go. I'm gonna
Halftime.
have to watch the VOD after this in a minute because apparently I made a face when I guess Byte was cutting out. I thought my stream was dying, so I must have
did
made
too,
a really
yeah.
awesome face, and I guess people really liked it. So I'll check that out later. But yeah, we're gonna be right back with hats. If you're watching a VOD instead of watching this live, you don't get a hat. So
No
watch
hat
it
for
live.
you, girl.
Yeah. All right.